Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to today's webcast. This is the Aegir wet dress rehearsal, completed with all of the new roles and finicky gadgets in mission control. Today I am joined by some other commentators. We have, of course, Luke, our operations specialist, and Slayer as well, a mission controller. So welcome.
Yes, hello everybody. Very, very excited for this. This will be the first wet dress of the Aegir launch vehicle.
Hello.
I think that's a nice
So,
introduction, Slayer.
so yeah, on today's test, we are going to be, well, actually, we're pretty close to fueling at the moment. That should happen, I believe, around 32.5 minutes. And we're going to fuel the vehicle with oxidizer and liquid hydrogen. Now, as you all know, this is heavily inspired by the Delta IV Heavy rocket, and we are going to be using all three cores. Now, this was made from a poll between the staff team, and we all decided on a vote. My idea
Range status
was,
is green, no tracking, no violations at this time.
my idea was the space shuttle, made smaller with Falcon 9 side boosters, which got instantly turned down, and everyone on the staff team said I should quit my job as the CTO. But nevertheless, there's also been ideas of having Daphnis Heavy, which I made, and again, I was told that I was a bit of an idiot. And we also had this lovely suggestion, which is Delta IV Heavy with the Starliner capsule. So Aegir and Callisto was promptly born out of that. So an amazing vehicle with some cool features. And for one, this is the only rocket in the Saturn fleet that isn't reusable pretty much at all, apart from the capsule.
And to those of you who are in the Discord server, we have just really recently selected the astronaut crew, which will be riding on the Callisto once we get towards manned flights, which we are building up to with this start, which is the wet dress rehearsal. And we'll be hearing from the astronauts on a later date, so probably at one of our the first launch. But yeah, that is very exciting stuff. That'll be our first manned mission from Saturn Aerospace.
Yeah, and we used to fly Calypso quite a lot, but that didn't really have the capacity we needed for this. So we were tempted to bring back Falcon and on Phoebe and bring back Calypso. That was another one of my awful ideas, but again, turned down by the whole team.
It's Callisto, not Calypso.
Yeah.
No, I was saying how we
Yeah.
used to fly on Calypso. That was our old
Wait,
crew
Calypso?
capsule. Yeah, you lot have not been here long enough. You're not an OG, so you won't know what that is. Essentially, it was
Yeah, neither
Dragon.
am I. I wasn't here during Phoebe, which was very, very sad.
Yeah, Phoebe launched over 100, I believe almost 200 times, and it was an amazing rocket. It took basically the whole company to another level, and we now have so much experience off that rocket that we have so many more amazing launches to provide to you. And we see some of our mission controllers remembering the Phoebe Omega test.
It looks like coming up, fueling should be starting.
Propellant load has begun.
There we go.
Some cool callouts, actually.
Yes, very well designed callouts. And yeah, so now there is propellant flowing into the rocket.
Yeah, and unfortunately we
Wait.
won't see that propellant flow, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what kind of fuel does Aegir use?
It uses hydrogen and oxidizer. So it is a Hydrolox vehicle.
Quasar, you're a statistics man. Would you be able to tell us what the pre-fueling weight is and the after-fueling weight of the Aegir rocket is?
To be honest, I'm not the lead of this vehicle, so I'm not 100% sure. So
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that Bob isn't here for the first wet dress for us.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've had to tell people that we are going a bit slowly because I deal with all the technicalities at the company and the software. So we have been going a bit slowly on Aegir, but we're now moving forward quicker than ever, and we should be launching next week with crew. So we have a lot to do in that time. And of course, we want to get to the moon this month. You may have seen our cinematic video last night. And in fact, we're going to play that cinematic on stream for you right now so you can all watch. So for the next few minutes, please do enjoy.
Houston, if you're ready, we'll maneuver. Reaching out.
This is Launch Director. We are go for launch.
Pitching down range.
Main propulsion system is nominal.
Iapetus has landed.
Nominal orbit insertion.
There is no place and no moment in history where I could stand and say, Old British begins here, now.
So yeah, a bit of a long cinematic there, but we are back. Don't worry, that wasn't the whole video. And you can see that
Well-
that is a teaser for what's to come this month.
Yeah, we've
I
got
would
a
say
lot
pretty good-
on the horizon. Yeah, go on,
I'd say
Slayer.
pretty good editing from Quasi, but
Yeah, that was a
not the
great song
best
choice.
music choice. Not the best music.
No, that was a
choice,
great
in my
music
opinion.
choice. I don't know what's wrong with you.
It's just not, per se, my genre. Whatever.
Alright, Slayer. But yeah, as I was saying, coming up this month, we have loads of launches. I believe we have 2 launches to the moon. That'll be cool. Obviously, not manned, they're just rovers, but still cool. Well, not both rovers, but yeah, I mean, very exciting stuff on the horizon. If you'd like to see our upcoming launches, you should just make your way over to Saturn.space, SaturnAero.space, sorry, and on there you can find the launches page, which is in the top right. And if you, yeah, so yeah, SaturnAero.space/upcoming launches. And if you are already going onto the website, then you can do SaturnAero.space/careers if you're interested in becoming a mission controller here at Saturn Aerospace, which is it's great fun working here. I mean, I don't know, Slayer, how are you finding it?
I mean, I joined only about a little while ago, but I have found it, has been like a lot of fun being able to work with a bunch of other people, and it has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, great fun. So yeah, I'd highly advise that you guys apply. Great fun, and we're ramping up launches. So yeah, now is a good time because applications are closing soon, I believe. Also, if you have a payload that you want us to launch, you can submit it on our website as well. And we will launch it completely for free, and we will deal with all the staffing and, well, everything related to the launch for completely free. All you have to do is submit us your payload, and we will launch it.
Now, you may be wondering where we are. Currently, I haven't done a webcast down here in a while, so we're currently in New Zealand. Now, we did have a launch complex for Phoebe in the Solomon Islands, which is a bit north of here, but now we have a launch complex for Rhea, Daphnis, and Aegir in the southern hemisphere again. And
confirmed.
this time we're about 40 miles south of Christchurch, and we have a nice bit of land by the coast, which is readily available for us to use. So a very cool spaceport that we're going to be often using for upcoming missions. And as well as this, it's great for polar launches, so we can launch straight up or down, which provides us much more flexibility with our missions.
Sorry, everyone. You're just going to have to excuse me for one moment. The intern has arrived with the coffee, so I'll be back in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Saturn Aerospace loves their coffee.
Yeah, we have a lot of coffee behind the scenes. Personally, I have Red Bull. It's just a nicer taste for me, but keeps us alive. And while I'm writing software for the team, it's vital. Software is quite difficult to write, so I like to have some energy and something to do on the side of writing that. Now, Slayer, tell us a bit about what is going to happen in the next few months, and why we're sending crew to the moon, and what's really our plan for Saturn Aerospace this month.
So this month, Saturn Aerospace is going to try and get to the moon. This will be the first time people have gone to the moon since like 1972. I don't know, but Aegir is just the start of everything. On the 9th is when we're gonna send our first payload to the moon, and this is really to help us gain a permanent stay on our silver neighbor.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome having cities on the moon. And speaking about cities on the moon, the man in charge of our current direction in the company, welcome to the commentary box, Mr. CEO Caden.
Thank you for having me, Quasi. First time I've been on a webcast in a little bit. I'm very busy behind the scenes getting stuff ready for the moon base and then Daphnis Gen 2, which you'll learn about more soon, trust me. Excited to see our new crew launch vehicle getting ready to launch. It's been a while since we launched crew, obviously with our old Calypso capsule.
Yeah, and apologies to all the viewers. Disregard everything I said earlier. With the mission control applications have just closed. Although we are still looking for. We are hiring. What positions are we hiring? We are hiring.
We are not
No
hiring
positions.
any.
Not hiring at all anymore. Oh, bad news. Sorry, guys. You snooze, you lose. But we will be hiring in the future, I'm certain. So just keep an eye out. Join the Discord server if you want to be notified for things like that.
Yeah, and of course I am the lead software, so we may eventually in the next few months need some more software engineers just for some background work on some of our rockets and stuff. So do stay tuned on that front because it will be interesting to see if we can get some people with some KOS and Python knowledge in the team. We do use a lot of Python around here. In fact, the countdown that's shown to you right now is powered by Python. Just stuff like that. Like outside of the rocket software, we use a lot of it for our day-to-day activities.
Yeah, I think with that though, Quasi, unfortunately,
Also, internal checks complete.
I'm gonna have to leave now.
Oh, okay then.
I'm very busy. I wish I could stay here, but I'll be following along. I've got the stream up on my PC in my office, so everyone enjoy the wet dress, guys.
Thank you.
Also, by the way, I'm sure we'll be hiring more astronauts in the very near future, even though we have just picked our first selection for the first astronauts that will be flying on the first flight of Aegir. I'm sure we'll be hiring more very soon.
Yeah, 100%. We're not hiring just a few astronauts, we're hiring a bunch because if we want to build a city on the moon, we need a lot of people to help get us there. So it's going to take a lot of people, but everyone is free to apply when those come open.
Quasi, just for the viewers and and me, can you tell us a little bit more about how the astronauts will work after like selection? Like, how will they actually be on the rocket?
So essentially, it is Kerbal Space Program after all, and we're going to be putting your Kerbal with your name on the vehicle, and then we'll send it up to the moon, and you'll be able to track where you are essentially and see what your Kerbal is doing at any given moment on our website. And it's going to be a pretty cool feature. So you'll be able to see what city you're in, what your job is essentially on the moon, and you'll also be able to come to the launch. When we launch you into space, we'll have a lot of people from the mission come into that VC and basically speak on the control.
Question in the chat. Yeah, for the countdowns, we are using KRPC, and then for the flight computer, we use KOS.
There's not much to talk about right now because we basically said everything about the rocket, but we are 16 minutes away from T0. And a question in chat: have you ever been to Starbase in real life? I personally have not. I've been to Kennedy. I've watched SLS essentially count down to about 30 minutes before it held. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the launch, but I have seen SLS with my own eyes. I've seen Falcon 9 with my own eyes. I've seen a lot of the space hardware, which sort of helped spark Saturn again. We were out of operation for quite some time, and when I went to Florida to see that, it was incredible. And in 2028, I may be seeing a Falcon Heavy launch, so that would be cool. But there are a lot of people in our team, such as Cheese Stick, who have been to Starbase for the Flight 12 launch, and a lot of people have been to Starbase and Kennedy and all the other launch sites around the world. So it's pretty cool to have a team that does have that real life experience of going to launch sites.
You guys don't know how lucky you are being able to visit launch sites. As a proud Brit, don't get me proud Brit, there are 0 launch sites anywhere in England.
And another question, we have a question on, could you maybe explain how the Aegir rocket fits in the Saturn fleet? And it's sort of the oddball for Saturn, if I'm honest. We don't have a reusable booster for this. You know, there's no real correlation to the other rockets, but the reason we have this is for crew. We want crew to launch, we want them to get there with as many crew on the capsule as possible.
Flight azimuth and corridor verified.
So instead of launching on Rhea, which is sort of unsafe at the moment to launch crew on, we wouldn't risk that. We want to launch... Oh, there you go. There's some things happening on the rocket. Some arms moving back. Okay, fair enough. We want to make sure that the crew are safe. So that's pretty much why we have this rocket. And another question in chat. Luke, I'll let you answer that one.
Wait, which one? There's 2.
There's a question about how much it would cost for a group of 4 or 5 to go to KSC.
Well, I'm not really a vacation planner. I'd say it depends. Maybe I would say £10,000 is probably a good estimate. I mean dollars. $10,000 sounds about right.
Well, yeah, like it depends on what you want to do. If you live in Florida, it's pretty cheap. It's only like maybe $70 to go there, something like that, $70 to $100 to go there. And if you want to go and see the pads up close, it's a couple hundred on the tour. But so if you live locally, it's really cheap. But if you live somewhere like the UK, it's going to be a few thousand to get your planes, your hotels, everything like that to get there. And Aegir is pretty short, if I'm honest. It's only about 50 to 60 meters in height.
Stubby.
Yeah, it's very stubby on the top, so it's not that tall.
Super stubby, in my opinion.
Supreme, you're a mission controller. Why are you asking this?
We got some mission controllers asking questions when they are actually in the mission control room. So
they are. Yeah, that seems. Maybe they should get back on the launch. And
yeah,
make sure
maybe you should. Maybe you should be paying attention to your work.
But yeah, Quasi, you can probably answer the Blender guy's question about why we use KRPC, why we don't use KRPC for the flight computer, instead use KOS.
It's primarily down to experience with software. KOS has a lot of capabilities, but KRPC essentially doesn't have some of the capabilities we need with the rocket. So KOS has always been our flight software. And KRPC is basically just an expansion of the external stuff. So anything pre-launch is basically KRPC, and anything on the flight is KOS.
Vehicle and final startup procedure.
And this is just because it's a lot easier for us to use KOS for the flight software, and we can be a bit more flexible with that.
I'm going to answer the next one. The question is Aegir funded by Israel? No, Aegir is not funded by Israel because we have no correlation with Israel. Sorry.
Although I can see why you might think that, because the colors on Aegir are blue and white.
Yeah, they kind of correlate, but we have we don't interact with Israel.
Yeah, we are strictly a private company, and we don't normally do deals with countries, obviously, except for the states.
Now we're just 11 minutes and 15 seconds away from launch. Oh, sorry, not launch, the ignition that we should have today, but I'm not sure. It's dependent on the mission controllers. I believe they probably won't ignite the engines, just due to safety, and so that we can keep the vehicle as healthy as possible.
I do, though, hope we ignite the engines, because that will be cool to see.
Yeah, question in the chat by Accelerator. And I'll probably give this one to you, Quasi, if I'm being honest. I can't answer that. What is the production process behind the boosters?
So the production process lasts about a month, and it takes us about a month to build the boosters at the moment. And we build the center core, and then we build essentially 2 times more side cores. So we have 2 side cores per center core, and we build the bottom half, which is under the white section on the booster, and then we build that second half, which is the white section, the blue section, and the nose cones. And the hardest part is obviously integrating them with the rocket, but they're essentially, the core is on the rocket with the second stage attached and the capsule, and then we attach the side cores on afterwards.
All stations prepare for final launch pool.
Ooh.
I'm gonna answer one more question in the chat. The question is Israel funded by Aegir? No. Okay. Sorry.
So we're not going to be answering Israel questions anymore. It's a bit inappropriate to Saturn. So we've got another question in chat, Luke. So it says, what is Rhea's main mission and also Daphnis's main mission?
So Rhea is a heavy lift vehicle, which right now we are using for mainly testing. We don't have it in we don't have it like locked down what we are actually going to fully be using it for, and we're just making sure that it's going to be effective and safe. And right now we use Daphnis as the main workhorse, right? We use Daphnis for frequent launches and maximum efficiency and turnaround times, but we also, it's got a smaller payload bay on the Daphnis launch vehicle, so we use it for lighter loads, mainly just to get them into an orbit around Earth or the moon. But then further out than that, normally we'll use Rhea to go to Mars.
Okay, I'm going to answer a real, non-Israel related question. The question is, can someone explain to me why Daphnis wipes the floor with Aegir and Rhea? Well, this is only my opinion, but I agree. It does wipe the floor with those rockets only because it's our most reliable vehicle. We have had the most launches and the most booster recoveries with Daphnis, because the booster can land not only RTLS style, which is returning to the launch site, but it could also do ASDS, which I don't know what it quite stands for, but all I know is it's something that correlates with it returning to the drone ship, which is very reliable, because let's say you're flying, but you don't have enough fuel, so you can just land it on a barge in the ocean, which causes us to have quite fast turnaround times, but Rhea could be slightly better in some ways because the booster gets directly caught by chopsticks. So we have that it has sometimes faster turnaround times, and the ship is going to eventually be caught as well. But that's just my opinion. And also Aegir isn't reusable at all, and I haven't even seen a launch with it. So in my opinion, it's not really our best rocket right now.
Henry Williams, whilst we cannot confirm nor deny anything at this time, I will say we are looking into it.
Seven minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. Vehicle still proceeding with normal health, and the range is green as well. The clouds are a bit overcasty, but not to worry, this vehicle can launch with cloud. It's just dependent on cumulonimbus, and it is approaching winter in New Zealand, so it's not going to be too much of a problem at the moment.
So coming up in roughly a minute, so at 2 minus 6 minutes, there will be the final go/no-go poll from the flight director. The last
Usually
check for all stations.
Usually I'm a part of those, but it's kind of weird being a commentator because I've only done it slightly one time, so I don't have much experience on it.
Aviation and Caden, let's not start arguing in the chat about which vehicle is better. They're both good in their own ways.
But in my opinion, Daphnis is better.
Well, didn't ask what your opinion is, Slayer. They're both good in their own ways. How much fuel does it carry? Quasi, you can probably answer this. Oh, actually, I've asked you this already.
It's probably on the order of about 1,000 to 2,000 tons in total, I'd imagine. Hydrogen isn't very dense, so it's quite heavy, and we can't fit as much in.
Flight aerodynamics officer.
Go.
Aegir control.
Go.
Communications officer.
Go.
Callisto command.
Go.
Range inspection officer.
The ranged inspection officers go.
Copy this, flight director. We're go for launch.
Looks like we're go for the continuation of the WDR. Yes.
Henry, in answer to your question, I mean, I can answer that one. We will not be making tiny rockets because what would we get out of designing tiny rockets?
I mean, we do have Hyperion. Hyperion is very small, and it still manages to carry quite a large payload into orbit because we drop it from the sky. So Hyperion's our smallest rocket, but I don't remember the last time it launched because, well, we have a member of our team that doesn't want to do anything with it.
Well, Henry Williams said the smallest rocket possible. I mean, what's the dimensions of the
My directors go proceeding with terminal count.
Hyperion's only about 2.5 meters. Rhea is 9.6 meters, I believe. Daphnis is about 8 meters. And this rocket's about 4 to 5 meters.
But in my opinion, Hyperion is just not that good of a rocket. I mean, it's kind of harsh talking about one of Saturn's rockets like that when I worked for them. But it's just I've never seen a successful launch with one.
We should bring back Phoebe. just say.
We really do need to bring back Phoebe.
Ewan, as it stands, crewing Rhea is very far in the future, so right now we're just working on Aegir as our crew launch vehicle. But yeah, crewing Rhea is something that is possible, but yeah, very, very far into the future.
But inevitably, I'm pretty sure in the very near future, at least this month, we're potentially going to be using Rhea as a base landing vehicle.
Aegir switching to internal power
for the moon.
Hyperion is a different launch vehicle we use at Saturn Aerospace, so it's a rocket which we drop from a plane. So just pretty.
Yeah, it's the Stratolauncher.
Yeah, very different from the other rockets we have here at Saturn Aerospace, so it's cool. And yeah, for those wondering, we have the Hyperion test flight, which is coming up on the 7th at 4:30 a.m.
Liquid oxygen, hydrogen tanks at flight pressure.
Which is a bit of a weird time zone, but because the person managing it is New Zealand-ish. Oh wait, New Zealand.
I see another question I can briefly answer. Will the Aegir be discontinued once Rhea can safely bring a crew to orbit, or will it be kept alongside the Rhea?
I just answered that.
Oh, did you? I did not hear you. Whoops.
Callisto's on internal power.
But yeah, we have. It's not saying it's something that we can't do, but we've got no intentions to ever fly crew on Rhea. Aegir will be our crew launch vehicle until we eventually phase that out, and if we do, we'll put in a different launch vehicle. But yeah, Rhea will never be our.
I'm sure we're gonna use Rhea to land people on the moon eventually.
No, don't think so. As it stands, we're never gonna be crewing Rhea.
We do have a vehicle in the works.
Guidance is now internal.
For Daphnis, and that will come out when Caden decides he wants to release that. But we're not going to talk any more about the moon and landing on the moon because we have 1 minute and 3/4 until the test. So we're still not sure if we're going to be engine igniting. I believe we might be, but it's up to the flight director on this test. So if we get a better view here, we'll be able to see the whole rocket from below. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop talking and let you all listen into this countdown. So, do enjoy, and we'll see you
Range
on
status
the
is
other
green, tracking
side.
no violations for the test.
All telemetry is nominal.
Aegir is now armed for ignition.
Final commit. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, RS-68 engine ignition. All engines running.
There we go.
Wow.
Shutdown.
That sounds powerful. That sounds quite exciting.
Sounds very powerful, and you can see that there's some insane plumes we're seeing right there.
That was nice. The
Yes.
the armor traction was beautiful, along with the engines igniting.
So that confirms it. That's the first time we've ignited the full vehicle on the pad. So we can now move on to the final stage before we launch crew on it, which is the in-flight abort test, which will be happening hopefully this week. So ladies and gentlemen, that is very, very cool to see. Now it is about time that unfortunately we have to wrap up the stream just due to the fact that there's nothing else to watch. So we really appreciate everyone joining us, and I'll let Luke and Slayer end the stream for you. So I've been Quasi, the Chief Technical Officer and Lead Software Engineer, and goodbye.
Alright, well, I'll speak first, and Slayer can end the stream. Can end the stream. Yeah, great launch, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I am, I've been Luke. I'm the Mission Safety and Operations Specialist here at Saturn Aerospace.
That was pretty nice. I've had a lot of fun being able to commentate with these people and work for this company. I have been Slayer, and I hope to see you guys again on Saturn Aerospace.